This is the town of Shoup. It was once a gold mining town. Well, here we go. Right here is a sign talking about it. Named after Colonel George H. Shoup, 1836 to 1904, a soldier, pioneer, governor of the territory, and later the state and United States senator. Ore was first discovered in this area on April 24, 1882 by Ben Harrison. 14 other claims were located the same year. In 1930, Shoup boomed again when new claims were found. Well, I know the fella that owns this town. It isn't much of a town anymore, but at one time they say there was as many as 10,000 people living in this canyon looking for gold. I don't know where they would have put them all. This store, when we first moved here, it was still open. They used to have really good hamburgers, and they sold, beer, and they sold gas and fishing supplies and things, river rafting stuff for the tourists. It was a good business. And since then, people have taken it over and kind of run it into the ground. It's really a shame that it's not still active, because it was a good business, and it was fun to come down the river here and stop and visit for a little while and have a hamburger. Up the canyon here, there's a road. Like I say, this is all private property now, but there's a road up there. There's a cemetery up on top someplace. Always kind of wanted to go up there. I never have done it. Like I said, I know the owner. Maybe this summer, if there's time. Never seems to be time in the summer months. But if there's time, I might talk to him and see if I can't go up there and take a look. I've wanted to for the 35 years we've lived here, or close to 35 years. These old gas pumps are pretty neat. When I was a kid, I remember getting gas in a pump like this. I don't think they were common even back then, though. See these numbers here? What they would do, their hand pump, you take this hand lever here, and you pump the gas up into this glass bowl. And what would happen is there's a float in there, and it would tell you more or less how many gallons of gas you got, and then it was just gravity fed. You open this valve, and it runs down through. This one's gone. This one's still got the nozzle. But it would run down by gravity into your truck. And, these things are very collectible now. Worth quite a little bit of money. I'm glad to see nobody's vandalized them, but he really probably should take these out before somebody does. At the same time, I'm glad to see they're still here. It's just kind of neat to have them, Let's see, that glass container held 10 gallons, it says. If you needed 20 gallons, you'd fill that glass part up twice and run it down into your truck again. Pretty cool. Simple and worked really well. You don't see many payphones nowadays either. This building and a couple of those others, I've never been in sight of those. I know when the store was open, some of them were being lived in by the folks that were running the store. Like I say, it's hard to believe that many people lived down in this canyon at one time. But back when it was a gold rush, I think people lived on anywhere they could find a spot big enough to lay out a bedroll. The Clipper Bullion mine is across the river from the town site of Shoup. And this over here is part of the stamp mill. Trees are kind of blocking the view, but it's got that big flywheel on the upper right. And that thing would spin, and it was on a cam type of deal that basically had a bunch of hammers down in this lower spot. And they'd go up and down and crush the rock into a powder so they could run it through sluice boxes and whatnot and extract the gold. Not much left of it now, but it's kind of neat that it is still partially there anyway. A little bit better angle of the Clipper Bullion mine stamp mill. It's a pretty simple setup, but it worked pretty well, really. This is still part of Shoup. A lot of old buildings here still. Here's a guy. He's the son or grandson of a fella that used to live down here when we first moved here. He still lives here, right up here where that red truck is. The guy that used to live here, I don't recall what his name was. He had one eye, an eye patch. Nice old fella. But they lived in here. This was part of a mine. There's a tunnel back in here. And he had a pretty good business. Let's stop and get out here. I'm pretty sure he lived in there with his wife. He had a pretty good business here, selling people pictures of themselves going through the river rapids. What he did was he would get a hold or get ahead of the river boats and things in the best spots, the biggest rapids and things, and take a bunch of pictures of them. And then on the way back, the outfitters all knew to stop in here, and he would try to sell them pictures of themselves going through the rapids. But this is all, like I say, it's all private now. I can't go into it or anything, but here's part of the old mine. I don't know how far that goes back. I think it goes quite a little ways, but I don't know. I never did go back through it. Oh, look at here. Didn't even see those deer hiding back there behind these buildings. Anyway, it's pretty neat. There's a lot of history in this area. Here's some old mining parts and pieces and things. when he was here, this tub here, he had a little bit of gold in there, and he'd give kids, you know, lessons on panning and whatnot. And it's a shame all this stuff's not been kept up. This is part of an old stamp mill, I think. It looks like one. If it is, it's a small one. I'm pretty sure that is, though. These things here would have hammered up and down and stamped into the rock at the bottom to break it up. Yeah, see here, you can keep your BB. If you can keep your BB, you can keep your gold. That's a real good way to learn how to pan, is by throwing you know, a little lead shot or a couple of little daisy BBs or something into the dirt. And if you can pan that out and get those back, you can find gold. Talking about daisies, this burro here was named Daisy. She was quite the character. She used to stand out here in the middle of the road and stop cars, which was good for business, of course. But she wanted a cookie or a part of your sandwich or whatever you had. She was kind of like our lumpy burro. She had big fat deposits all over her, and she finally ended up dying. And I don't see the grave now. It's right here somewhere close. But they buried her right here, and she was kind of a neat old burro. It was fun to have Daisy hold up traffic. Always liked this cabin here too. This also is a part of Shoup. This is Pine Creek Rapids. This is one of the spots that fella'd get your picture took in. So that's the tour of the city of Shoup, Idaho. Ghost town now, but still pretty neat to see. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll go down here a little further and have some more tomorrow. See ya.